I mean, if they can fix the issues that has, especially the online component, then this will be a good fighter. But as it stands right now, this feels like an unfinished product. Alright, so let's just get this show started. What I'm talking about, obviously, is the King of Fighters XII. This is for both the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And if you're not familiar, it's a 12-game series. This year it celebrates 15. It's been alive for 15 years, so this is pretty much a landmark for the series. So that makes this important. It's also important because the sprites, basically what they've been using ever since '96, have been completely redrawn for this game. And the sprites are fantastic. The backgrounds are amazing. Because again, the backgrounds are all hand drawn, but they each have their own little sprinkles of, special effects in it. They all look great, but of course it does have its issues. Some of the effects do look a little odd, and the characters, while they do look much better hand drawn now, they still seem a little pixelated around the sides. You can use the soft filter option to get rid of the jaggies, but the jaggies are still there no matter what setting of soft filter you use, and then the characters start to look a little bit blurry. Also, from a presentation standpoint, the menus in this game are just bland. I mean, yeah, I know it doesn't sound like much, but yeah, this just seems like they just whipped up something in Photoshop, or just say, let's just use default fonts and everything. So yeah, the menus seem very uninspired and all that stuff. But I guess the most important thing is how the game plays. And in that sense, it actually plays surprisingly well. I mean, this is still like the old King of Fighters you've come to know and love. They did revert some characters back to old movesets. So for example, KO is using his 94 moveset, his moveset from the King of Fighters 94, so he doesn't have all those like crazy complex moves that he had from, say, 98 or even 2002. Some other characters have also gone through adjustments, like Dulon's moveset has been completely changed, which, in that sense, it makes it a little unbalanced for him, because if you use one of his moves, it's basically heat-seeking, so, like, I'll be using it, and if the character's at the other end of the screen, it will still connect to them. So, basically, you have to think about that when you're moving. You'll only see this in practice mode, so you'll understand what I'm talking about. Of course, other characters have been redesigned. The biggest one has been Iori, because of, spoilers, what happened in King of Fighters XI, Ash stole his power. And spoiler here. So basically, Iori can only use his fists and stuff, but I still think he plays incredibly well. They did bring back, because actually most of the characters in this roster are from King of Fighters 94. The only new character they've added for 12 is Raiden. It's basically, he was from, I believe, the Fatal Fury series, so now he's making his KOF debut. And they did bring it back, Elizabeth from KOF 11 and Cher from KOF 96, which are the two exclusive console characters. But there's no Mai. Yeah, I have to mention this. I mean, Mai has been in almost every KOF game, and the fact that she's not here is pretty odd. I mean, you could also say the same thing for other characters, like, who else? Yuri's not in here, which is one of my favorite characters to use in KOF, because she's been in there ever since the start. Same story with King. King's not here either, so who knows? They could be released as the future's DLC. And the other odd addition, and the other odd thing besides Mai, is K-Dash, because if you look at the logo for the KOF 15th anniversary thing, like, where is it? Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's K-Dash. And the fact that he's not in the game is odd. Hopefully, him and Mai will be added as DLC in the future. There's also an other odd thing, is that there's a serious lack of content here. I mean, there's only 22 fighters. I know it doesn't sound like much, I know it may sound like a lot, but compared to other games in the series, there's been like, I don't know, 40. Even 98 Ultimate Match has like, I believe, 60 characters. There's only 22 characters here and 6 stages. So I think this really does bring into the fact of quality versus quantity. Again, as I said that they hope they add some more characters and stuff in the future, I sure hope that they give us more modes and more stages to fight in. But anyway, I'm kind of losing that. Back to like the way it plays. It still plays well. I mean, the controls work great. It still controls like the other games in the series. So if you play the other ones, then you basically have an idea. You may have to relearn some of those characters, as I said earlier, but it shouldn't take that long to grasp. In terms of the modes, this is really bare bones. You just have an arcade mode, a versus, a practice, and online. Your versus mode is limited to 3-on-3 or 1-on-1, which is fairly standard. Arcade mode is kind of an excuse. It's just like 5 time trials. That's it. There's no end boss, nothing. You can replay, if you play through a battle, you can replay it again for a better time, but if you get a worse time, it doesn't take your best time out of the 2. It only takes the second one you did. So if you did worse than the first time, then that time will be carried over. Versus mode, as I said, is just 3-on-3 and 1-on-1. You can do up to 2 players with that. You can do 2 players with that. Practice mode. This practice mode is not that great. I mean, there is no button where it automatically pulls up your move list. You actually have to go into the menu and go to the second page of the menu in order to get to this thing, which is dumb. There is like a few new mechanics in it. There's something called Susai, which is deadlock. So basically, if you and the opponent pull off a same move, you basically enter Susai. So like if, say, Ash pulls off a high punch and I do a high kick with, say, Kim, that can enter deadlock. You'll tell because there's like a purple ring around it. There's also guard attacks, which is hold down C and D when you're blocking. It'll block it, then it'll come back with a blow that can knock your opponent down. But I think the best system in this game is the critical counter system. What happens is when you pull off a critical counter attack with either heavy punch or heavy kick, you'll see a green tint and the camera will zoom in on the 2 of you. And basically at this point, you can just mash buttons to pull off a counter attack, and then you can transform that into a combo. But if you're fast enough, when you activate a critical counter and you can pull off a special move, you'll be rewarded with something really flashy, and that super, actually, yeah, that's what it was, a super, will actually do more damage than you think. The other thing I'm also very disappointed with is this online component. They've been tuning this online, and, you know, it sounds great in theory, but in execution, let's just say it's a piece of junk at this state. I mean, it does not run well. I have not had a single game run well. The frame rate was like, it was just like laggy as syrup, maybe worse than that. I even had points where the multiplayer, where the game just stopped, whether observing or playing, and it's like I couldn't even do anything. So I'm hoping SNK will fix this, because if they don't fix this, then this is just going to be like a waste of money and a waste of time. So yeah, as I said, in its current state, right now, it's alright. If you're a huge fan of the series, then it's like a no-brainer, go pick this up. But if you're in it for online competition, you're better off with BlazBlue or Street Fighter 4. Heck, even Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has much better online play than this game. I know that's harsh, but it's the truth. So here's hoping that they will get this online working. If they do, then this could be one of the best fighters out there. I'll keep everyone informed. I'll keep you informed about how that online component is coming. But until then, maybe rent the product first. Unless, as I said, if you're a hardcore fan of the series, then go pick it up and hopefully hope for the best. So, with that said, thank you. And I'll see you later.